But next time you come down through there, I said, did you see that sign up there that said no left turn? Daddy said, yeah, I seen that. He said, well, why did you turn there? He said, because I wanted to come down this street. He said, well, I think Daddy was 71 or 72 or somewhere along at the time. He said, well, so you getting on up in years. He said, I'm not going to give you no ticket this time. He said, but you don't turn down through there no more. Hand Daddy his license back. Daddy said, well, he said, but if I want to come down this street, I'll come down this street again. He said, well, I told you you're not supposed to turn up there. And Daddy said, well, if you want to sit down here and watch, next time I come down through here, if I decide to come down this street, I'll come down this street. So he said, well, let me have your license back. He handed them back to him and he wrote him a ticket. It cost him $35. It was kind of funny.
What was that other one you were telling?
Oh, that's when I come home from Korea. And, went down there where we used to live, and there's strange people living there. And I finally called Sally Browning, Uncle Bill's girl, and asked her, did she know where her mother and daddy lived? She said, yeah. I said, well, your mama lives so-and-so, and said, your daddy lives, told me where he lived. Yeah. And I walked up there to where that was at, went me 2 or 3 blocks away from the phone booth I was in. Knocked on the door, and this big fat woman come to the door. I asked her, did George Cochran live there? And she said, yeah, that 10-horn gambler lives here. But said, I don't know where he's at, so I ain't seen him in 2 days. And Noon was in there in the bed asleep. He worked 3rd shift down at boarding at that time. She said, his son's in here. You want me to wake him up? I said, yeah, get him up. She said, well, it's time for him to get up and go to work anyway. So he got up, and I went on in the house, and asked him where Daddy was at, and he said, hell, I don't know. I ain't seen him in a couple of days. He's here in town somewhere. And Noon said, I got to go on to work. He said, won't you take me to work, and keep my car if you want to go anywhere? And he said, I'll call in the morning, you can come pick me up at work. So I went and got him the next morning. He got off at 7 o'clock. So I went and got him from work, and I said, you got any idea where Daddy's at? And he said, no, I don't know where he's at. So we started hunting, and finally, we either called the jail or the jail called ours, or I can't remember which one. But they had him locked up in jail down there. So we went down there to jail to get him out, and got him out of jail. And we come out through there and asked him, said, Daddy, where's your car at? And he said, oh, it's up here on 1st Avenue. So we went up there and rode around 1st Avenue a little while. Couldn't find it. Well, anywhere else it could be? He said, well, it might be on 5th Avenue. And I asked him, when I first went out of the jail, I said, what the hell are you doing in jail? What they got you in here for? He said, oh, they saw bitches frame me. He said, I wasn't doing nothing. Anyhow, we couldn't find his car, so Noon said, well, let's call the city pound. Maybe they pulled it in. And they had his car in jail too. We had to go down there and get his car out of pound. but they framed him. He didn't do nothing.
It was always framing him, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah. Every time he got locked up, they framed him. He didn't have much use for cops. They wasn't his favorite people.
Yeah.
You can probably get your program back on there now, Vicker. Is that it?
We'll see if I can get this thing to stop. I don't know how to make it stop. Maybe push the button.